There we go.
Here I am.
Oh, and good afternoon. You are rolling on the road with Dr. Kimberly and Dave. Dave is back from his assignment. Yes. Woohoo.
We were up glamping, Dr. Kimberly. Just a
Wow.
little bit.
Just a little bit. We are so excited today. We are in Sacramento, California. I tell you, we haven't had a better name for this show. This whole rolling, we roll all over. And we are in Sacramento. A couple of weeks ago, we went to Nigeria. I tell you, we stay busy, 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 busy. As many of you know, since the end of June, the first week of July, well, actually, we started back in May celebrating our 3-year anniversary. And with that, we have had folks that have trekked with us since the very beginning, 3 years ago in 2020. We are in all 50 states. We are in 12 countries. And so a lot of our guests have had an opportunity to come on, pick subjects, and be the guest co host. So that has been really exciting. And it started with Shayna when it was her turn. She was the first one to be our guest co host. And she started with improving, it was what? Self care and self confidence. And from there, we have, I don't want to say snowballed, but we really have. And now we have, for the last, what, 6 weeks, have talked about how to build up your inner strength from that. And I'm excited about this building inner strength today because Miss Viv is 72 years young
Hmm.
and decided in June to invest in herself. And that's the title of today's show is investing in your future helps you to build up your inner strength. And I have to commend you. If I had some hair, I'd flip it for you. And and I just like, oh my God. So you know what? You know what? You know what? I have these really cool earrings. One says star, the other one says gorgeous. And on the back of it says Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Oh,
Everybody, what I don't know how long ago was it, Dave? It was this year though that we had Leslie King Friday was a guest on our show, and they are now creating a movie based off of her life. And so she was in Hollywood and she brought these back for me. And they were actually, okay, you guys ready for this?
yes.
They were actually keychains. And I thought that it would be just a little ghost for me to walk around with these, hanging out like this, with keys hanging out, like, okay, look, guys, look what I got, look what I got. So I made them into earrings. Imagine that. All right, Dave, you're the reader for the day. Who do we have here?
Oh,
Oh,
well, we have a bunch of hellos coming in from Maryland. Shayna first says hello and then great topic today. And she brings it home by saying, Dr. Foster, you are beautiful.
Oh, thank you so much.
Your beauty shines forth.
Glory to God.
we created this list, but a couple of weeks, was it last week, I gave my 10 points on what keeps my inner strength strong. And when you and I were talking, and just so that everybody knows, we don't endorse any one thing in particular. Like we're not endorsing Primerica. However, that's what helped Dr. Foster decide to invest in her future while she's helping others to invest in their future through Primerica and the services that they offer. And so if you want to know more, her number, she's ticker taping down here at the bottom, and you can give her a call if that's something that you would like to do. We always like to make everything available to our viewers, no matter where they are in the country. or out of the country, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But I love it. Dave and I both had to kind of reinvent ourselves after the election last year. And I can't imagine at 72 years old deciding that I wanted to do something different with my life. I would think that, okay, I'm settled. How do you decide at 72? You know what? I'm just going to go sell insurance. I'm going to invest in my future and have other people invest in their future. How do you do that?
Well, what you do is something that continues from where you were, and it's simply rebranding yourself. Before I had a 501c3 that was in Illinois, and
Mhm.
my first attempt, I would say my first endeavor, was to deal primarily with women who were insecure. They were mistreated, down and out, but they had to still show up to make an appearance in the working world. Now, this could be a woman that is married, whatever she goes through. Not to say that they're, that battered type of thing, but we all know that women put themselves what? I'm last, right?
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
so that was where I initially got the call to help my sisters, and I have something that's called VOC beautification course, and we just have a lot of fun. So that grew, and and in the teaching of the word, there were men that would come along, and they would actually want to hear the teachings. Well, I can't take any credit for the teachings, but I can tell you that it changed people's lives. That's what I do know. So after I continued on, and had the people, they were calling me from from here and there, come to speak, come to get our people up and going. Just get them up and going, and that comes from really paying attention to the person. I believe that every time you meet a person, that is their Kodak moment. It's
Mhm.
not to be shared with anyone else. You make a connection with that person, and in that Kodak moment, something that should be a download to you about what that person may need, may want, be it a prayer, be it another smile, whatever. But that's how you keep that gift sharp, and that's how you continue to move on. And Dr. Kimberly, you did make mention is like, okay, I'm tired. I'm going to go over here and retire and go sit down. Well, you just don't do that when you've been an event planner as well.
Okay.
I love parties, have always loved giving parties, and it's just something that I like decorating. I like those things are who I am. Those skills. That's who I am, and I love just taking something and recreating it. That's all I've ever done. So I got out here in California, and now I'm basically doing the same thing that I was doing in Illinois, just in a warmer place. Okay.
Well, I have friends who like to say they did not retire, they simply rewired.
All right.
And so you rewired. Artie Franklin says blessings, and Shayna had said when you earlier, both you and Dr. Kimberly agreed that women have a tendency to put yourselves last. So
Mhm.
so tell us more about the rewiring.
What rewiring has to do with look and see where you have some shortages, because you have to really be mindful of where your shortages are. You're not so much as going to take it and all, everybody else is minus, and you're not. You find out where your shortages are, and then you can relate to another person. Case in point, if I was homeless, okay, and they don't know me from Adam, anybody, but I was homeless and we slept in a van for 6 months. So when I see other people going through that plight, that Kodak moment that I can, relate to that person, then it helps me to see the shortage and it helps me to rewire.
Hmm. That Shayna chimed in. She likes that saying. not retiring, rewiring. So,
Mhm.
yeah. And what is the work that you're doing today?
I am, I lead prayer groups. I have 5 prayer clinics. And one might say, why do you have that and how do you do it? Well, we use technology. We have conference calls that are prayer clinics because I'm not in Illinois any longer. I'm not in Wisconsin any longer. I'm not in Indiana any longer, but I am in California. I have two groups in Illinois, as a matter of fact. But excuse me, what had happened, this is something that people will be drawn to, whatever that is. They just hear about it, they come, and they're drawn, and their need is met through prayer. And I call it a prayer clinic because it is just like you go to a regular clinic. It's something that people can kind of show you where you may be missing the mark or how to fix whatever is hurting through the
Mm-hmm.
scriptures. That's what we have. I find that there are so many people. I'm going to talk about the church. Is that all right?
Absolutely.
Yep, yep.
Okay. I find that so many people are in church, but they're lost. And people can, Jesus said, I come to save the lost sheep of Israel. Well, weren't they part of the family? They were in there, but they were lost. So it stands to reason that there are some lost people that are in the household of faith, and they must be taught and trained how this thing works. You just don't present God anything. You just don't. There's certain mandates that we must do, how we must live, and that's just when you enlighten people with those type of information,
Oh,
everything gets so much better. How do you ask that? It can't happen because
oh, Dr. Vivian, Dr. Kimberly, are you losing her voice too?
I am.
yeah, that was
Sorry about
that
that.
was my phone. Someone was trying to come through. I'm going to put it on Do Not Disturb. I thought I had it there. I apologize for that.
All
Am I
right.
back?
You are back. So back up a
All
couple
right.
sentences and give it to us again.
Okay. Now, what part did you not hear? You're talking about the prayer clinic.
No, we
Well, no,
heard you.
just go ahead, Dr. Kimberly.
Yeah, we heard all of that. It was just a little bit, but I think that we kind of got the gist of it. We do
Okay.
we do have some comments here.
Okay.
Let's, where are we? I don't want to repeat.
Well, it was that one we already saw,
We did
but
this one.
then Sheila Curry says, "Good evening."
Good evening, Sheila. Can you tell us where you're tuning in from again, please, and thank you. I love how even with prayer, that's investing in your future. You can
Mhm.
pray and ask God to help. If you're in school or if you're starting a job, to
Yes.
give you direction on what you should do. If
Hmm.
you're like me, what's the next advocacy thing that I need to be attach myself to?
Yes. Yes.
What is the next show that we should do? Do we continue to do series? And it seems like this series has been phenomenal, and we
All
have
right.
just continued week after week. There's always someone say, hey, they have another one, or they want to expound upon one of the 10 points that we've made. So I definitely did pray and say, okay, Lord, what would you have us to do? This is now year 3.
Hmm.
Okay.
This is year
Awesome.
3. Where do we go? What do we do?
Hmm.
Still got to
And
talk
you.
to my medical folks again. I did talk to Pat Draper. Yes, yes, yes. Saw her August 5th. So excited to be able to have um, Kent County Health Department, their emergency preparedness team to come back.
Yeah, I don't know how it's life in Sacramento, Dr. Vivian, but here we had a small tornado-like thing cross the northern part of our city on its way to Detroit. Uh,
Uh-huh.
and then, of course, our listeners in Florida, you better be getting prepared, evacuating from the way of that hurricane that's heading to Florida. Because
Yes, yes,
that's what we learned from Pat Draper. You don't mess around with emergencies because you just weather emergencies. That
yes.
is because you just are going to find yourself in terrible trouble. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah.
And I totally agree. That is something that I add with my curriculum in the prayer clinic. That there are some things that we need to be prepared, as well as spiritually and physically. Prepare yourself. Don't let things just take you by storm and you're standing there like deer in headlights.
Mhm.
Prepare yourself. Get prepared. This is a time at like no other time that our discernment has to be heightened. Um, my son says, Mom, put your head on a swivel. When you go there, put your head on a swivel. And that's exactly what we should be doing, both, spiritually and naturally. We should be watching. And then we will be worthy of getting the message, getting the download, and then we could carry it out.
Mhm. All right. For Tanji, gives us a good afternoon.
She's all the way on the east side of the state. So for
All
you
right.
guys, this is Michigan. Yep. She's over here. We're over here.
And
So
so
we
is
got,
Sheila. Sheila responded she's in Grand Rapids.
oh, she's
All
here with
right.
us. Okay.
Yep. So
Here's
so
Sandy.
we've got the east and the west of Michigan covered, and we're out in California.
And
So
as
Wow.
far east as Maryland.
yep. Yeah, we've got
Hmm.
east and west of Michigan and east and west of the nation today.
Okay.
As every day
We're,
we're rolling.
we're just
Good.
crossing. Who do we have here? Okay, I did that one.
And
Yep.
I just want to throw this in for just a minute. Now, when I was sharing that, that's up to a certain point. You graduate and you get into something else. You get a different course, kind of like a different course, but the same, a different path, but the same course, I should say. With my 501c3, it was geared toward women and children, and of course, if there were families, we didn't discriminate with the husbands. We provided whatever we had to provide with them as well. However, when I got out here and I saw it's a whole different world out here. And I looked at, it just was so different. Another country. It's just like you went to another country. So what happened was I need to rebrand myself, because then I was not going to be able to be of service to the people unless I did rebrand myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened. So I went and took this. Oh, and California has a stringent life insurance course. I don't wish that on anybody. But yeah, they have a stringent number of hours that you're required to be in there, and the trainers are really, really good. But you're going to be in and you're going to study. But it made so much sense how I could. I don't have a chaplain's certificate of license. Do you, Dr. Kimberly?
Yes.
You have a chaplain's license.
Yes.
Isn't that wonderful? And see, I don't. And I said, okay, well, how can I be more in let's see, to affirm people that are really suffering? That would be that they would need more information at certain times. And so that's why I did that study. That's why I came up with more of a solution type of thing, even to the degree of identity theft, of which it hit me, it hit my husband twice. Okay, so we always have to guard different things. If you need the camera on your house, It's all things financial. We have a technique that's called Be Dollar Smart. And what it does is it's about 5 minutes, and you can actually get yourself help and it helps you to focus in where you need to focus. It's all about be dollar smart. You might have something over here, and the other one in the other line, you got a hole in the bucket. So it's about being smart about the whole, your whole package and your whole life, the whole man. So that's why I did the rebranding as well. So it would be something that's concrete that I can offer people as we age.
I like that. It's 20 minutes after the hour, and you are rolling on the road with Dr. Kimberly and Dave. Today, we are all the way in Sacramento, California. Yes, we are, guys. We've been getting around, and we're talking to Dr. Vivian, who is 72 years young. She moved from Illinois out to Sacramento, California, and
Yeah.
realized that she needed to rebrand herself. Can you imagine that? At 72 years old, she rewired. I like that. She didn't retire, she rewired. And we're talking about how she took her skill set from her 501c3 prayer clinic and transferred those skills into now selling insurance. And so the title of our show today was Investing in Your Future Helps to Build Up, your inner strength. And as she started telling us her story, it was just phenomenal how it just really fits in what we're doing. So now she's helping, not only did she invest in her future, to say, I know for me to continue on, I'm going to have to invest in myself in a different way. And so back in June, she started taking those classes, and I love it. At 72 years young, she went and took some classes and said, hey, I'm going to invest in my future because I still have some time left. And while I'm doing
Yes.
it myself, I'm going to teach other people how to invest in their future as well. And as I stated earlier, we don't endorse, Prime America, but we are allowing you to be educated because that's what we do. Make sure that you have
Mhm.
information. Her number is scrolling across the bottom of our screen, and you can reach out to her if that's something that you would like to do. And
Mm-hmm.
but I love it. I can't even say it enough, that sometimes we have to stop in the middle of the road and say, okay, there's a fork. Do I go to the left or do I go to the right? And,
Absolutely.
the Bible says
Absolutely.
that a smart man, meaning mankind,
Hmm.
has to count the cost before they start building. And so I love it. There are different ways to count up the cost, but you sat back and you said, look, I'm gonna count the cost. And Dave definitely can agree when we always have to stop and say, we got to count the cost. What does it cost to be Dave
Hmm.
Bukowski? What does it cost to be, Dr. Kimberly Barrington? And this
Yes. Yes.
is something that we're going to do. And then we have to come up with a plan on how we're going to invest into who are we going to be. I mean, and you can
Yeah,
even
and
read.
then the theme of these past couple of months that what and there's Shayna's comment, investing in ourselves, that inner strength, that it's not selfish, it's
Mm-mm.
self-interest. And there's
Yes.
a huge difference with those things because, of course, selfishness, we don't, uh, well, most people don't hold up as a value, but selfishness is totally, it's almost putting your boot or your wheel on somebody else's forehead, where self
Mm-hmm.
interest is focused on inner strength and what do I
Hmm.
need to get where I need to go. And as Dr. Kimberly noted, the costs, um, we have to show that. So again, having focus on your own inner strength, your own
Hmm.
inner peace, That's self-interest. That's good
Yes.
self-care. That is not selfish. Because sometimes it's selfish um, to give
Not
too
doing.
much. Well, yeah, not to do it is like to give too much. It's like, what do you think of yourself? Like some have said, you trying to be the savior? I thought we already had one.
I've heard that one. Mhm.
Exactly. So, anyways, we just need to continue to um, and yeah, work together, as you both had said. Find that good circle of folks that are going to help uh,
Our
lift you
tribe.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and hold
What
Yeah.
you
did Sheila say?
accountable. Shana says, what are some ways we can invest in ourselves?
And then
Well, anything,
And
it's like this.
Sean Stokes had said greetings early on, and then awesome, and then she likes my comment about self-interest, which
Uh,
is needed as opposed to selfishness.
mm,
So back to investing. How do we invest?
I think that taking care of yourself
mhm,
definitely. And I love what Dr. Viv said. She realized that it's a whole nother beast in California. And
mhm,
so, what do I have to do in order to survive out there? And let's make
mhm.
some changes. And then I see people in California that have the same need as those that were in Illinois, but it needs to be tweaked. A
Yes,
bit. I need to tweak some things. And
absolutely.
like I told someone today, I was outside. My favorite thing to do was to be in the yard. And and so now I'm doing the fall flowers. And the person that came up and said, this must be your therapy. And I said, you know what? I said, it is. To nurture these plants, it's like nurturing
Mm,
myself and nurturing,
yeah.
other people. I know
Yes, absolutely.
treat them, like I have to water them. And that means that I have to water people with my words, with affirmations, so that they'll thrive. And then sometimes you need to, pinch off the dead parts. So what does
Yeah.
that look like? Well, this
Mm,
part is dying, or you know what, this skill set is no longer usable for me. And is there a way
mhm.
that I can transfer it into something else? If not, guess what? That goes, here's the drawer. Boom.
That's right.
We put
Until
that,
further notice.
and
Until
so
further
I'm not
notice.
going to keep that on me because it's taking up space for something else that needs to try to grow out of that area. And so those are some of the ways, Shayna, that you can definitely, invest in yourself. I love the fact that you can reach out to other people, or you share your ideas with other people,
Hmm.
and that helps. And they come alongside you and say, you know what,
Yes.
I would invest in that too. I think that's nice. I can see when you start to talk about, uh, a couple of things that you said about what you do on that other job, hmm that you had to get a license for. Yeah, that other job,
That other job, I understand.
that other job.
I tell you, it's
And there were
such.
some good things that you said about that. Let's see, who's that? I can't see.
Sean Stokes. She had again enjoyed the comment between self-interest versus selfish, and then Shayna says great information.
Yes, absolutely. I really have enjoyed just the exchange that we've had this afternoon. It's an honor and a blessing to be in this type of forum. Like minds, when you're talking, and you don't have to know a person all of your life, but to have the freedom to discuss. I think this is an awesome thing that you guys are doing. And I'm so happy that I was invited to come and share, just a little bit of the journey that I was on and how long it was. It was a long journey in Illinois. But you look. The kids used to tell me, "Mom, why don't you come on out of that refrigerator up there?" It's like, okay. because they already were in Arizona and in California. So yeah, come on in that refrigerator. But it got to be to the point that it was just a little much. And sometimes I see for me, oftentimes my blessings are I'm pushed into my blessings. That means I have to do this. It's like a lot of times we have a chance and we can decide and what have you. But I have found that I've been pushed, and that is scriptural. You'll be pushed into your next blessing, because if it's up to us, we wouldn't do it. We just wouldn't do it. So I'm really excited about the next chapters. I am so excited about the next chapters. Yeah.
Are we all stuck?
No, what's that, Dr. Kimberly?
I was like, are we all stuck, or was it just
You must have froze for a second, but we kept rolling.
okay?
Yeah.
I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you. I am.
I tell you, the
And
last time
can you say your number out loud, please?
my contact number is 815-528-2063.
Scrolling there on the bottom.
I want you to say it again.
Okay. It is 815-528-2063.
I got permission before the show that please call her if you're feeling stuck. I mean, this is almost like have yourself a Merry Christmas. They said from ages 2 to 92. So ages 2 to 92. If you are stuck, you don't know what to do, I think you need to call Dr. Vivian and say, hey, Dr. Viv, can you pray with me, pray for me? Can we have a conversation? Can you give me some advice on what it is that I need to do next, or how you did something, how
Mhm.
you did that? That's a major move to go from Illinois to California.
Yeah,
Chicago is a busy city, but it has nothing on Sacramento. And you made that very clear that it was a whole nother beast. And we have learned during this pandemic that nature will
mhm,
select folks, and that if you don't figure out how to survive, you will become
mhm,
extinct. And it's not to be rude and or crass or
mhm.
insensitive to someone who may have lost someone, during COVID. But
Yes.
we know from watching time that there's always these catastrophic incidences that happen. And the next thing you know, we're in a whole nother age.
Mm-hmm.
And, only the strong will survive, or only those who are willing to adapt.
Absolutely. If we're not willing to adapt or rebrand a different way of thinking, and that is, Dr. Kimberly, as you say, that is the survival. The strong will survive. And that is always going back to a biblical principle. Let the weak say, I am what?
Strong.
Strong. Yeah. So there's many times and many days I have, like, oh my goodness, this is uh, you know, and that has come recently with these drops I have to use in my eyes. But I have to think about the other part of it. I can see.
I'm coming soon. I'm coming soon. I can't wait. I've been to the eye doctor, and and they're gonna. Oh,
Yeah,
I cannot wait. And I'm
yeah,
so
because
excited. Even when they do the surgery, she told
uh,
me I was eligible to have a lens put right on my eye, so I won't even have to wear glasses.
all right, okay, because you get tired of that fuzzy. You really, you got the
And
Fred
today,
Sanford collection. All these
Fred
glasses I got around
Sanford.
here. The Fred Sanford collection. Which
that's
one
it.
the kids are giving.
And today is cloudy, and so I'm really struggling today. I just
Yeah.
I'm really struggling. So I said, let me go do my plants. I can see the big big picture, you know.
Okay.
And
How much
and
how much sleep have you had?
Huh?
How much sleep have you had?
Who? What?
Who? 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 Oh, that's the other code word, huh?
Okay. So, Dave, did you want to make a comment? Yeah.
you know, I mean, my quick piece in that is oh, Kenny Rivera says hello. Hi, Kenny.
Hey, Kenny, where are you tuning in from? Let us know in the chat.
And Sheila says things have changed a lot in 2 years. Yes, they have. You know that where I chuckled when Dr. Vivian said, her children said, when are you going to get out of that ice box? Because believe it or not, and Dr. Kimberly won't be surprised by this, but 2 nights ago, I had a dream I was cross country skiing out in the snow, and it was beautiful and it was gorgeous. And so that wackiness, and if ask for
Look,
help
look, while you laugh, he's gonna have me. He's already had me out there on the
on
ice
the
skating
ice.
wheelchair.
I wait a minute. I'm gonna dig up one of these pictures here, but
Oh, the brave souls.
I'm
but
telling
the
you,
the real quick the to say that again, you ask for help, and when Dr. Vivian talks about her journey from the icebox to Sacramento, that doesn't mean your journey has to be from the icebox to Sacramento. That means you have to find your journey, and don't
Mm.
and listen and resonate. Where for me, I'm just gonna say, the hot weather, not a fan, but it's still saying, okay, Dave, where do you need to be? Where do you need to be yourself? Where do you need to be recharged? Those are the key questions that you need to be asking yourself, and listening to other people who know how to ask those questions for you or
Yeah.
to you. So
it's very important. Oh,
okay,
okay.
let me see if it's going to let me do this. How come it's okay, Dr. Kimberly? I think it's letting me share. Is it going in?
Yes. So I think I need to add it, right? Oh, Dave.
There's the picture back in February, Dr. Vivian. Dr.
Oh,
Kimberly is out on the ice
oh
getting
my.
Michael, one of my colleagues, and the guy in the wheelchair in the background, Patrick, another colleague, downtown Grand Rapids, Rosa Parks Circle on the ice.
Wow.
We did a great photo shoot for our friends at Travel Michigan and Experience Grand Rapids. And
That is
so there's
awesome.
Dr. Kimberly out on the ice,
Oh,
having fun,
making it happen.
and probably dreaming about a palm tree in Jamaica while she was out on that. Well bundled up, but you got to find your place.
Absolutely. That's the truth, anyhow.
So there it is, folks. I mean, documented. Dr. Kimberly will go and be an ice cube every once in a while. So, but again, it's find your journey, find your joy, because again, you can't see it because of the mask, because it was cold. We did a lot of laughing that day because
Oh
we
my
were
gosh.
also at the public museum, and again, just
Oh, that's nice.
yeah. So I'm looking forward to that article coming out. Of course, they'll only have like 2 or 3 photographs. They only took a few hundred, but
Oh my goodness, I know, right?
yeah. So, but all that being said, again, it's back to put that question out there, talk to your friends, and again, listen to your heart as it responds.
Yes, absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, telling me to go west.
go west. I want to go north. But anyways, unfortunately, Canada's on fire, so I'm going to stay in Michigan.
And well, when you come to California, 2 hours outside, you're on that was that Reno and that hill with the
Yep, Lake
snow.
Tahoe and Yosemite's up there.
That's it. That's it. And
That's
then 2 hours that way, and then you're on the San Diego beaches, and 2 hours that way. Where we are, if you got 2 hours, drive to where you want to go.
hmm,
That's the way they change the seasons, the climates up here.
all right. Oh, we got Ronnie Richardson. We hear from Ronnie. God bless you all. Ronnie is in Grand Rapids, right down the street from our former offices. We miss you so much, Ronnie. We hope you're going to be here next week for a small celebration of somebody's birthday. So um, that's today's shameless plug. We like shameless plugs, Dr. Vivian. And the shameless
That's
plug
okay.
is as
We
we
can do
try to.
shameless plugs. We just can't do endorsements.
That's right. The shameless plug is we're doing a little fundraising next week to help pay for the bus service out front here on
Okay.
68th Street because
Okay.
we need to have bus service to disability advocates in the township that we have our office in ended the contract. So long story short,
Okay.
I might be turning 60 next week. And in honor of that, we're going to try to raise $6,000 in 60 hours. Now, of course, 6,000 is 6,000.
Right.
We don't want to set our sights too high. But yeah, it'll help. Again, 100% of the proceeds are to go pay for our contract with the Rapid, which helps
Mhm.
people. And believe it or not, today I rode the bus into the office because my vehicle's in the shop yet again. But that's a different story
Oh.
that we're not going to whine about on air today. Because we're talking about inner strength, and I got plenty of inner strength because I know how to use the bus, and I have friends who can give me rides.
Well,
So
my plug for the Rapid today is on Sunday. I rode the Rapid to John Balsu.
from your
So I,
house,
oh my God. And didn't know that the bus doesn't run all of the routes on Sundays.
Wow.
And Dave knows where this is. So I had to take well, at the beginning of this, 3 years
Mhm.
ago, they were creating this new bus line for the college students to get
Okay.
from downtown out to the Allendale campus. And since I may be a little hearing impaired, I may not always hear things. I kept
Okay.
thinking like, oh my God, they got this liquor
Mhm.
line. Really? Are you serious for college
The
students?
little
So I'm
line.
thinking like, oh, that's kind of cool. They get drunk downtown and then they can get on the liquor line and it'll take them all the way, back to school. And
Okay.
so I said, oh, this is so wonderful. I said, I said it was such great confidence. Oh, yes. I sat up and said, oh my goodness, I think this is so wonderful that we have the liquor line. And everybody is laughing.
They're rolling.
rolling because Bill Kirk at that time, he was a staff person at the Rapid. He was our guest that day. And Bill
Okay.
politely said, Dr. Kimberly, it's the Laker line because they're the Grand Valley Lakers. D Coate says, what up, Doe?
What?
And yes, so the Laker line. And I actually ran across that post for some reason just recently. And
Mhm.
Brenda Quida also says hello to everyone.
She's
Hello,
in
Brenda.
Arizona.
Arizona, there's another person in the oven from the other.
Arizona.
Hello, Brenda.
So I ended up. So I found out that the number one normally turns into the number 12, and it takes you to the zoo. She says you're gonna have to get off because we don't turn into the number 12. We don't have that service today. You're gonna have to take either the silver line or the Laker line. And I said, okay. So I get off at the Central Station downtown, And then I had to ride. Now Dave knows where this is. So I'm in my motorized wheelchair and I had to go from Central Station to Monroe and Lewis to catch the Laker line. And then, do you know where the tree is? The tree house in John Ball Zoo.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So when I got there, the Laker line, it stops right in front of the zoo. So that was no big deal. But once I got there, they were taking people by either golf cart or they had a bus that takes you all the way up. I want to say it's almost 2 miles. It might be 2 miles up to the tree house. And they didn't have an accessible vehicle. So I started in the wheelchair. I get all the way
Okay.
up there. So mind you, now I've taken a bus, then I had to hoof it all the way up there. How about the event was like 15 minutes and it was over? So I was only there like 15 minutes.
Okay.
Turned around, I had to come back down the hill, 2 miles,
Uh-huh.
get back on the bus, hoof it back over from Monroe and Lewis over to Central Station. I get on, find out that the number 10 is not running. And they said,
Uh-huh.
get on the one. And how about the number one doesn't come down to 68th?
Right.
Not on Sunday, but during the week, I could have gotten off where because it goes over to Pine Rest. So I had to get off at 60th Street and hoof it over to my house.
You, I'm surprised your battery made it.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Yeah. That I don't know the area, but I know just from what you're telling me, that was a journey and a half. Yeah.
And so I'm gonna be there on next week because I'm invested in my future
Yeah.
of not having to ever take that ride again.
Okay.
I don't mind going down to what it takes maybe 15, 20 minutes for me to catch the bus down here at the
Uh-huh.
grocery store because
Hmm.
it's a little bit safer than coming down over the highway overpass, but the streets are blocked off, so the service is
Okay.
not coming there. It's just, ugh.
Yeah.
And they took it away. And where the bus
Hmm.
stop was, it was just kitty corner from my house.
Oh,
Is where the bus stop was. It's maybe 3 minutes in my wheelchair.
and now it's a
Halfway.
good what?
Yeah.
But it's
Hmm.
that inner strength that pushes through, and Sunday was a gorgeous day.
And it really was. It could have been raining. So I am
Or
so grateful.
snowing.
Absolutely. Ooh.
Right. I know. I said, give him glory because that's snowing. Whew. No.
It really wasn't.
It,
It wasn't hot outside.
uh-huh.
So when we talk about this is a great segue. This was a really great show because it's now 4:49 our time. And we want to say thank you for taking the time to come with us all the way from Sacramento, California, and hang
Woo.
out with us today. We appreciate it.
Listen, I enjoyed it. This is so refreshing that it really is. It's like, oh, okay. Hmm. Just kind of hanging tight, hanging out. And I like Dave.
Hey. Look.
He- he's so cool. He is really cool.
No.
I mean, again, it's people are cool if we have, um, there's Ronnie, Dr. Kimberly, you are a trooper. That is 100% a trooper. We got a few hearts above and an LOL from Brenda. Um, there we go.
But you want to know what
The
was so cool? What made the ride really cool though? My husband, I had bought him a couple years ago this JBL speaker.
Okay.
So I was like, well, it's mine now, you know. And I had it in my purse, paired it with my phone. So I was just playing jazz and I was just,
You
bebopping
jamming.
along, And I was like, well, I guess this will be my radio. And I'm just bebopping along. People saw me. They were just like, everybody was honking their horn. Because, of course, I'm all purple. And I was just all glittery, just hanging, running down Division.
Just
Bebopping my
passing on
music.
the joy.
So we just got to make the best of what it is. And definitely when we talk about inner strength, that is something that requires you to have inner strength to see a problem and look for a solution and not
Yeah.
rehearse the problem and just say, you know what, I'm just going to do this. And
Hmm.
was there a little complaint about that much? And all I said was, hey, I can't wait till next week. And let's see what else that we can do to raise this money and see what can we do to make sure that we have that line right there because we really
Yeah.
need it.
Mhm.
Mm.
We need it.
Sounds
We want to say
yes.
thank you so much, Dr. Vivian Foster. Please say your
Oh,
number again.
okay. My number for contacting me is 815-528-2063.
Shayna, did you get that? Okay, good. Because she'll call you.
Yeah.
She'll
Just
call you.
It's
everybody
scrolling
remember.
on the bottom, and you can watch, the show in our
Uh-huh.
archives, and you'll catch it.
Yep.
All
I'll,
right.
I'll, I'll repost it again from YouTube because we are on YouTube as well. We were live on YouTube as well.
Awesome.
So we are actually on no, we're on seven. I'm sorry, we're on seven platforms. We're on YouTube, that crazy thing that I don't know if it's Twitter, it's an X, a Y, or a Z, and
Uh,
that thing. Yeah,
yeah, X, which was Twitter, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be the artist formerly known as,
Uh-huh.
and we are on LinkedIn
Okay.
as well, and then we are on Rolling on the Road. We have our own page. So we're on Rolling on the Road. We're on 100 Shades of Diversibility. We're on Dr. Kimberly Vine Barrington's page, and we're also on Dr. Kim for State Rep. So that's seven platforms. Four
All
on Facebook.
right.
Yeah, four on.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful, Dr. Kim. I'm just so proud of you, just so godly proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
You just keep pushing. You just keep pushing. And when a person sees you and the joy, the activity the atmosphere that you change around you and those that come in your circle, there's you the real deal. Let's put it that way. You're the real deal.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I so appreciate you.
I have a wonderful tribe, and you have been a part of that tribe. Dave's been the many times he's been the head of the tribe, and
We're just
Yeah,
hanging,
he looked like he was leading you out there on that ice. Yeah, he was. He's out there leading you on that ice.
taking the photographs.
Ah!
yep, we've been hanging out almost 10 years now. So
Oh, wow. This is great. This is great.
that's good. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
because I've been in the chair 10 years this year.
Hmm.
So I
Wow.
think a little bit before then. Dave, any final words?
My final word is gratitude. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you, folks, for continuing to hang out as we're rolling into year number 4.
Yeah. Dr. Vivian Foster.
Yes. Well, I tell you, there aren't words. There's not enough words to express my deepest, my most sincere gratitude, as Dave said. This was so much fun. It was so unexpected. I didn't know what to expect. And then I had this little bit of cold or cough or whatever. But do you know, I am so glad that I pushed my way through to do this because this has truly been a great experience, a great and rewarding experience. Thank you, Dr. Kim.
You are so welcome. As we continue on this journey of developing, building, rewiring, and investing in ourselves, I'm not going to get emotional. Yes, I am. We never know what tomorrow holds. We don't. And in a
Mm-hmm.
moment and in a twinkling of an eye, our life changes. And only, only when you go with the changes will you truly survive, and you can move past the surviving into thriving.
Yes,
You know,
absolutely.
surviving, you're barely hanging on. That's not how you want to live. You want to be able to thrive. And when you thrive, it's everything is encompassed in that. Your finances,
Mhm.
your health, and your whole person when you
Yes.
start to thrive. And so I encourage you on today, please go back and watch some of the shows. There's some excellent, excellent information. It really is some great information that you can glean. You can get our 12 points, or, well, yeah, we came up with a few more. So there's about 10, 12 points that we have on number one, how to develop inner strength. And then
Mhm.
I came back and said how to maintain it. And so I give
Mhm.
you like 10 points on how to maintain your inner strength. So please go back on YouTube and check those out. And we had a great show on last week with Josh. He talked about those type of transitions, how he in 1 week went to Pine Rest, which here is you can do inpatient for mental health breakdown. That he went to Pine Rest, got fired from a job, and his wife divorced him, and how he came out of that and found his inner strength through serving other people, through music.
Mhm.
And so we really have some great, great shows that are worth going back, taking a look at, and make
Mhm.
sure you get a piece of paper and a pen, or if you have a journal, get your journal and write down some of those points.
Mm-hmm.
Write down some of those points. And if you use anything that anyone said on the show, please remember that it is intellectual property. So make sure it's just like when you're in college that you have to do a footnote that don't plagiarize. So don't plagiarize intellect either. You know, give credit to
Mhm.
whom credit is due, because there are people who had to go through to get through to earn that information that they shared. It came from their personal experience. And so you need to say, hey, I saw on the show when John said this, and it really helped me. And that's how we do that. We don't repost it as if we did it with our own picture on there. That's unfair to that person's journey, not to give them credit for their journey and the knowledge that they gained because of it, and they came and they shared it here on this show. So we're looking forward to seeing you guys on next week. Trust, we have so much in store for you guys. I'm excited, excited, excited as we continue on. And Dave, can you give them the time for the 6th? It is on the 6th of September.
It's the 6th of September from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. I think we officially, you can, of course, you can make a contribution today, but we officially kick off the 60 hours that Wednesday. So for the next 2.5 days, those 60 hours to get to 6,000. So next Wednesday, the 6th, it's all about sixes, 6 zeros. Next Wednesday.
And we're going to talk about it on next week. We're going to spend a little bit of time on the why of the hours, and so we'll spend a little bit of time on that on next week. All right, you guys be safe and be well. And guess what? COVID is still out there, so be vigilant. Vigilant, please. Thank
It's
you.
It'll always be there. Be vigilant.